it was 97 degrees, 36 holes, and I showed up in shorts, and the PGA guy was like, "Hey, like, you have to wear pants." He gave me his black FootJoy rain pants. So I played 36 holes in 97-degree heat in black FootJoy rain pants. I was the only one to pass, and I tried to give him back the pants, and he said no. And I'm like, you know what, Lamar? I totally understand. Totally understand on that one.
Pine Talk is where Carolina golf's past, present, and future come together. We dive into the stories, courses, and people that make Carolina golf special. Because golf here is more than just a scorecard.
Welcome back to Pine Talk. If this is your first time, my name is Ryan. I'm the owner and founder of a golf brand called Palmetto and Pine Golf Company. And I go around and I talk with people about Carolina golf and their stories and, you know, kind of some of the things that truly make Carolina golf special. That's really what this is all about. So today I'm with Alex Fourie. He's the head pro here at Irish Creek Club in Kannapolis, North Carolina. And Alex, I literally was like trying to like figure out like how do I want to like introduce you, and I like was going back and forth, and like I was like, I mean, you got to be like, you're one of the most like resilient people, like not just like in golf, but just as like a human being, like just like reading up all about you, like, and I will just off the bat like take a moment and go look into Alex. You know, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff out there about his story, but for anybody that doesn't know, can you kind of run me through your story?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm lucky to be alive, lucky to be here, and definitely want to say thank you for coming out. And was born in Ukraine, and due to the Chernobyl disaster, was born with one arm and a cleft lip and palate. And grew up in the orphanage. I was put up in adoption at birth, and grew up fighting for food for the first 7 years of my life. And I mean, only God was the reason that I'm still alive. And got very lucky. My adoptive parents, which I call my parents, they're amazing. They're missionaries from South Africa. They came to the States, and my dad wanted to get a little more education. So he got his second doctorate degree in Alabama, and they decided to stay and plant a church in Birmingham. And they heard about me a couple years later, and I was very, very lucky. So in the orphanage system in Ukraine, if you're at the age of 7 or older, you're actually, if you have a disability, you're unable to get adopted. And they heard about me when I was 6 years old. And within 7 months, my adoption, international adoption, went through a month before my 7th birthday. Otherwise, they put you in a mental institute because they think the physical and the mental are, you know, everything's the same. And so I got very, very lucky and came to America. And day one, we went fishing, my dad and I. And he had no idea how to teach me how to fish, so he just gave me the rod, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll see what I can do. And then day two, he brought me to the golf course, and I've loved golf ever since. So kind of growing up with golf, family of golfers. Granddad was a golfer, terrible golfer, but he was a golfer. My cousins played in college, and so I kind of grew up trying to compete with them and my dad, and played a little bit of soccer, and tore my quad and decided, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna be running around anymore. So let's take golf serious. I passed the PAT first time. When I took it, I was a assistant pro in Knoxville, and then promoted to head pro out there. Passed the PAT all the way from the tips. No excuses, no handicap, nothing like that. That was really cool, funny story. It was 97 degrees, 36 holes, and I showed up in shorts, and the PGA guy was like, hey, like, you have to wear pants. I'm like, it's 97 degrees today, and we're playing 36 holes. And he said, I don't really care. And so he gave me his black FootJoy rain pants. So I played 36 holes in 97-degree heat in black FootJoy rain pants. I was the only one to pass, and I tried to give him back the pants, and he said no. And I'm like, you know what, Lamar? I totally understand. Totally understand on that one. Yeah, so big goal of mine is to create a space where if somebody can hit one good shot, they fall in love with the game. And been trying to teach that. And I get more excited when somebody hits a good shot on the range and when I'm doing a lesson than if I win a tournament. I really do. So love being out here. Thank you to the members and to Jeremy. He's an amazing mentor as well. Learning a lot from him, and it's really cool. Like I said, we've got adaptive golf clinic today with North Carolina Adaptive Golf Association, and I'm really excited to kind of flourish and have a place to call home.
There's so many ways, like so many different like questions that are just like firing through my like head when I listen to your story. Like it really, yeah, I'll just say like you were literally one of the most resilient people. That's one of the like just craziest stories. Like how has like everything, like how has that everything you've been through just like shaped your mindset?
Yeah, I mean, it's without a doubt, it's not been like an easy life, if that makes any sense. But you know, we're in this life not for ourselves, and I have to remind myself that sometimes. And giving back is one of the greatest things that's kept me going, and to be able to give back through golf, I think has been one of the most eye-opening experiences. That knowing that A, this life's not about us, and B, if we can have or give the power of golf and the fun of golf, I think, and the beauty of golf and the pure joy of golf. Obviously, golf's not all sunshine and roses, but if we can give somebody golf is therapy. It really is, and I use golf as therapy for myself and all the things that I've gone through. And it's hard, but it's also amazing and super rewarding when you get to do the things that I get to do. And I'm privileged to play in golf tournaments and adaptive golf tournaments around the world, and it's a huge honor to do that.
So like when you picked up the game of golf, like you said, like fishing, like that like didn't click with you. Soccer, you tore the quad.
Yeah.
Like golf, was there a shot early on that you remember hitting that like hooked you?
Yeah, I think it was in 8th grade. I was going into high school and I was playing with the golf coach. And I hadn't been playing a whole lot. And I was playing, my dad wanted me to play high school golf. He really wanted me to play college, and he knew that was the avenue. And I wish I would listen to him. I played 5 different sports in high school, and which was cool. But he really wanted me to focus on golf because he could see it. I couldn't see it. I didn't have that belief in myself, which that's part of life. And I beat the high school golf coach, and I'm in 8th grade, and I probably beat him by 10 shots. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. And I've regretted that statement for now on. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing like hitting a 5-iron flush where you don't even feel it. I love that. Yeah, it's fun to hit flop shots and drive, 290 and all that. But if you hit a 5-iron or a 4-iron flush and you can't even feel it, it's an amazing feeling. So, gotta chase that feeling for sure.
Yeah. And so, like, I mean, golf is a game. Like, I've got 2 arms, and this game feels impossible. Yeah. For you to grow up, like you're learning, and I doubt like you don't have any, like who's teaching you, like how it's probably way harder to learn the fundamentals. Like at any point, did like you get so frustrated, like you ever thought you'd quit golf?
Oh, I quit every day. Every time I play golf, I quit at least once a round. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. No, I would never. I think I've seen what golf does, and so I think avoid golf burnout, I do fish, and I do it's college football season, so I've been big into that, kind of watching and again, and it kind of separates like my personal golf game versus teaching and creating a fun atmosphere for golf. And for people to learn golf. So kind of keep all those in different boxes. But yeah, absolutely there's burnout. social media, do some social media stuff, and yeah, you get a little bit tired. And so, like college football is great, great break from that, and fishing's great, and we've got a beautiful lake here. That's absolutely amazing. So.
Yeah, you do gotta kind of find like the other things. Like even if like golf is the passion, like there's still other things that you can enjoy. Like for me, like I always watch a lot of like surfing or like
Oh yeah,
skateboarding.
yeah.
Like those are always like super kind of like therapeutic just to
Mhm.
watch, and I can just like mindlessly like stare at that kind of stuff.
Greatest video game I had was the Tony Hawk game on
Oh yeah.
PX2. Oh, so good.
Yep. Um, was there like for you? Was there like a certain part of the game was like the hardest like to master or anything?
Yeah, I think consistency with chipping is really hard. Finding low points and stuff, because you have to be technically sound and you have to have feel. And sometimes your feel loses you, and then you gotta go back to the technical side, and then the technical side is just kind of crappy, and you gotta have a little bit more feel. So I think driving, out of the rough is hard. So you gotta have strength to get the golf ball out of the rough. And then driving the ball is easy, but easier. It looks a little harder than it is, I think. But there's a lot of drills that I do, especially with people that don't have disabilities, golf lessons, and just to kind of mess with them. I'll be like, hey, we want to get you on that left heel more. Let's, hit a couple of golf balls with 1 foot. And they're like, how do you do this? Or, if they're, using their right hand too much, I'll make them hit left-handed only. And it's just kind of fun because I'm still in that stage, I think, where people are kind of doubting me as a teacher and coach, like, to really know. And that's okay. I mean, that's just part of it. I'm not Dave Ledbetter. Would I love to get there at that point where, I'm at a adaptive space? Absolutely. I think it's getting there, and growing the game of adaptive golf is huge as well. That's a big passion of mine, and I think right now the goal is, and we finally did it, was get the Adaptive Open on Golf Channel. Now, I would like more than just 2 hours. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, great, there's so many stories out there that there's 96 golfers that make it, and all 96 of them have amazing stories. And so I think getting that almost mainstream, where it's not, oh my gosh, look at this, where it's, hey, the Adaptive Open on Open is on Golf Channel this week. I'm gonna watch a couple days and just see how they do it, and then getting the bigger crowds out there. I think that'd be cool. And I think there's a space for social media to partner with adaptive golf. So I would love to see that. And I know Chad, one of my buddies, he's getting into that with Josh and a couple of the good guys, which I think is awesome. I think that's part of growing adaptive golf. And then there's a side where there's a couple of golfers that have started watching or playing adaptive golf because they've seen it on social media and on TV and all that. And I think that's really cool. So yeah, there's a whole lot. It's like iCloud. There's a big cloud up there. You can either teach or you can play or social media. There's a lot to golf that you can do, and then I think my goal is to help monetize that for the adaptive athlete, because it's a strain on their bodies. And I think I was talking to somebody, like, there's a pitch count on us when we go to the range. Yeah, I can only hit about 100 golf balls. Otherwise, I'm not ready for tomorrow. And so luckily I keep it in the low 80s, high 70s, and sometimes a little bit lower. But there is, and so you got to be cognizant of that as well, and as you teach as well. So yeah.
So talking about the Adaptive Open, you played in the one at Pinehurst. That was the first ever like U.S. Adaptive Open. Can you talk to me about what that experience was like?
Yeah, it was amazing. I've been lucky to qualify for all three. Oh well, the first three, and then I didn't qualify this year. But the first one was amazing because, again, there's that space, there's a void, there's that space that needed to be filled. And for the USGA and for Colton Dean to step up and to make that a reality was huge. I think, it showed the world that, hey, there's a partnership there that can be made. that shows the best of adaptive golf, and some truly amazing stories out there to be had. And I think the visualization of, hey, this guy can do it. It's on Golf Channel. I'm sitting in a wheelchair, came back from Iraq. I can play golf. And getting people out of their, chairs and their sofas and onto the golf course is huge. But the experience, I mean, USGA did an amazing job, top notch. We were professionals that week, which was really cool. So,
Had you ever been to the Pinehurst area before? Was that the first time?
no, that was the first time I had ever been. It was super amazing. I've never been to Pinehurst until then. And I mean, the whole village is amazing. And the Cradle, they treated us like tour pros. And so, we got to play the Cradle and wherever we wanted to. I tell you what, there's so many courses around Pinehurst that if you can't get onto one of the numbers, amazing. We played Southern Pines. I had a rough day, round 2. I'll never forget. I mean, it was rough. I think I shot like 83, 84. And I'm like, you know what, Dad? It was my caddy and my dad, and we just went to Southern Pines and took our shoes off and just walked around and had fun and kind of brought back what golf really is and what it means. So, yeah.
So what do you see as like the future of adaptive golf? I know you're talking about kind of making it mainstream. Is there anything like specific that you're
right now Deloitte did a great job. They partnered with the USGA to bring it on Golf Channel. I think having a couple more big major sponsors to create a tour would be huge, where you take the top 100 players in the adaptive world, and we're not asking for much. Cover travel, have a little purse, couple of travel expenses, stuff like that, where I'm fortunate where companies like Yeti and KBS, and I work with a couple, Duncan Heating here, Birdie Shots. I'm working with these companies and they see the value of it. I would love to have a Rolex or a Coca-Cola or what you see at the Tour Championship. To create probably a 30 tournament tour. I think that would be huge. I think that's the next step. And, try and convince those people that it's worth it, which I think it is. I think there's a lot of value not for just for the big corporations, but for also the tour players get put on such a high level pedestal. It's nice to be included in that, and I think to be able to give that to the younger generation of adaptive golfers would be huge. And there's so many good young adaptive golfers out there. It's really cool to watch, and you'll see one at the clinic. I think he's 7. His name's Levi. He's so cute, but he's gonna be a really good golfer. So yeah.
So I have Brandon McSwain. He's one of my first ever like Palmetto and Pine athlete was Brandon. He's a one-arm adaptive golfer. So I've learned some of this and kind of how it works through him. Mm-hmm. But like, how does the like adapt? Because obviously people have different like disabilities. Like, is it different like sections? Is everybody in the same thing? Like, how does it all work?
Yeah. So there's different divisions. So they've updated. I think there's 15 different divisions. Multiple leg impairment, one leg impairment, hand impairment. I'm one-handed. I'm a G4. There's other people that have one hand, but maybe have an arm with a prosthetic. So that's a G5. Different categories of not injuries, disabilities. And so you've got the neurological. You've got the visual impairment. I think the visual impairment is one of the coolest impairments. Because I got smoked by a guy that was completely blind, shot 73, and I'm struggling with a 84. I was like, how are you doing this? I think that's really cool. And the impairments are huge to make it fair. I think that's the balancing act of giving away an overall trophy. The people with a lesser disability have a clear advantage. And so, how do we make that fair? Or do we give trophies, first, second, third to each individual impairment category, which I think right now is the model that should be. I know golf is trying to make it into the Paralympics, and the Paralympic model is, overall and seating and all that is important to take the best couple of athletes. But I think that's huge, and it's important to stay within the category, just to make it fair and fun for everybody. So.
And so, what is your, I'm talking like golf handicap. What is your golf handicap?
I was trying to check the gym this morning. Last time I checked, it was like, I want to say like 1.2 or something. So, yeah.
And that's, to be clear, there is no, you don't get a bonus for playing with one, that
Correct.
is just you just are a 1.2.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, I've really appreciated it. The last course I worked at didn't have a driving range, and I'm a range rat. And so I've really appreciated the members and Jeremy for letting me use the range probably more than they do. And so we finally dropped our handicap a little lower I want to go back to being in one-arm golf #1. I think I'm ranked number 5 right now. So I'm coming for that top spot again. So there's a Canadian dude, his name's Jesse. He can crush it. So he played college golf in Canada, and he can absolutely smoke a golf ball. So, but we'll get back there.
Yeah, that's just, it's fascinating to me. It's impressive to watch. I guess talk to me about, I want to know more, this day you're the qualify for the PGM or PGA program.
Oh yeah.
The 36 holes, 97 degrees.
Oh,
what is your
brutal.
What are you thinking as you're going through that?
Well, I showed up, again, 97 degrees, it's Cleveland, Tennessee, there's no way that they're making, 30 golfers wear pants. There's no way. And nope, there's no exception. And so I honestly think the only reason that I passed was having a strategy for the golf course. And I probably need to get back to doing that in tournament golf as well. And my goal was to keep everything between the flag and me. Nothing left, nothing right, and nothing long. I was playing 72, 7,300 yards. It was all the way to tips. And so there were multiple par 4s where you're hitting 5 irons and stuff into par 4s. And so luckily it was summer, and so the ball was rolling out. But still, it was clutch too. So I had to make 2 birdies on the last 5 holes to get within the number. So it was pretty cool.
That's crazy. Now that just blanked my mind. I just put my mind in a blender just hearing you talk about
I think it was cool because I was the only one that did it.
And are you the first person, first adaptive golfer to get the certification?
So not adaptive, first one arm.
Okay.
Yeah, first one arm in North America, which is cool. There's a couple guys that have passed it that haven't done the written part or something like that. But there's one guy in, I want to say Washington. His name's Ryan Cutter. He's pretty cool dude. He's PGA. He's got one leg. And so I think he and then Chris Biggins, he's an adaptive golfer too. And he's got CP. So I think there's just 3 of us that are PGA. So but like I said, there's a couple of arm guys that have passed the playing part and just didn't take the written. I'm like, the written's the easiest part. Come on, dude. But I think I know Kim Moore. She just won the Ladies Adaptive Open. She's PGA as well, and she's heavily involved in making that a little easier for adaptive golfers. But yeah, I did it. It was all the way in tips, which I think makes it a little more special to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you came out of the U.S., you lived in Alabama, and then you mentioned the first course you worked at was in Tennessee. How do you go, how'd you end up here in North Carolina?
Yeah, I was a cart guy at Knoxville Municipal, and then I saw a job for Williams Creek love the head pro out there. So I went from cart guy to his assistant in like 3 months, and then he left, and I took his job, and I had no idea what I was doing. It was great. We had a lot of fun. It was a public course 5 minutes from downtown Knoxville, so we had a lot of fun and made it friendly for the college town that Knoxville is. And yeah, I love the marketing side of things as well, and so that was fun to help create events. I paired up with the University of Tennessee. We had all the PE classes out there, and that's really where I learned how to teach. When you got a bunch of college kids out there, it's a lot of fun. And then moved to Nashville and worked at a course called Indian Hills in Murfreesboro, and enjoyed it. Great course. Matt's a great pro out there, and then got the opportunity to go to the 500 Club and be their head pro, and love the members out there. Had a lot of fun. Learned a lot, and yeah, I've always wanted the private sector. I think it's different, presents its challenges, but I think it's where I kind of find a home at, and I can build those relationships, and you're not really monetarily driven for performance, and people are here for the love of the game, and that's what makes Irish Creek so special. Like, it's a golf course country club, if that makes sense. Yeah, we have pool and all that, but it is, people love to play golf with their friends here, and never had a fight out here or anything like that, which is pretty cool. And so it's home, and you know, Jeremy's opened up his doors. It's really cool to I think have a safe, inclusive space for adaptive golf to grow, and that's what we want to create. Me and Tony want to create with the North Carolina Adaptive Golf Association, and we would love to have a tournament. I think that's coming up in the near future. Hopefully, maybe next year, run our first adaptive tournament. I think that'd be really cool, and see what that looks like. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a word a couple of times that I really wanted to ask you about, and that's home.
Yeah.
Because like part of like the Palmetto and Pine is really like, it represents me finding home here in the Carolinas.
Mhm.
Like I grew up military, so I moved around so much that like you could ask me where I'm from, and it's like I'll give you a long story and tell you every place that I've lived, but like no place ever felt like home.
Yeah.
And so in the last few years, it's kind of like I moved to Charlotte, and just something finally like clicked for me that like like the Carolinas, like I was born in Myrtle Beach, so it feels full circle.
Yeah.
So really the brand represents finding home to me. And with you having such like a crazy like growing up,
Yeah.
and then you've lived in Alabama, you've been in Tennessee, now you've been in like North Carolina for a bit. Do
Yeah.
you feel like you found home? Is that something that you kind of?
Yeah. I started here 2 months ago, and 100% when I started working here, I felt that. Got an amazing fiance. She's amazing support system. Loves golf, and yeah, literally the first week here, it was like almost like a deep breath got let out, and it was like, okay, like we can have roots here, if that makes sense. And it's been really, really special. And these members out here have been so supportive of me. And I think they're still learning about me. And they're like, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know that. And I'm like, yeah. And, yeah. But it's been, yeah, I would absolutely say so. Birmingham will always be my first home. As a, childhood home. But I think as an adult and making roots here is absolutely amazing. And it's a great location too. You're 2 hours from the mountains. You're 3 hours from the beach. Charlotte is just a special place. It really is, and some amazing public tracks and private tracks. I mean, it hosts U.S. Opens and PGA Championships and what else? Wells Fargo. Some amazing tournaments out here. So. Yeah, I would definitely agree with you, Home is, feels like home here.
I love to hear it. Yeah, that's something that's been big for me.
Yeah.
But so you've got a clinic coming up in a little bit, so we'll
Yeah.
we'll try to wrap this up here and let you get to that.
Yeah.
When people hear the name Alex Fourie, what do you want them to like think of?
I want to say growing golf through adaptive golf. I think that's it. I want to grow the game of golf. I want everybody to hit that one shot. You know, the specialty is adaptive golf. But the heart is golf and helping people fall in love with a game that can give back so much. That where I think life has taken away from some people. And you hear these amazing stories of our veterans serving our country, and then they come home and they don't know what to do or what's next. And if you can provide an atmosphere for them where it's a consistent clinic every week, where they can, you know, put their legs on and come every Tuesday or every Saturday, it gives them a purpose. And I think that's why I'm here on this earth. So, yeah.
That is beautiful. So yeah, we're going to end that there.
Yeah.
Alex, you are a legend. Like I said, yeah, you're just an inspiring, resilient human being. So yes, please go look into Alex's story. I know there's a really cool documentary, the Unredeemable one that was done about you. Really cool stuff. So that's Alex Fourie. He's the head pro here at Irish Creek. Alex, appreciate you.
Thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate you. And tear up the clinic and play some golf.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.